presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, we've called golf all around the world, but never at a golf course quite like this.
Rich, we've picked a perfect day. It's usually here about 64 people running around, battling it out for domination.
All right, Frank, here we go on the first hole, set for, dare I say, takeoff from this aircraft carrier.
Well, that's right, Rich. You really got to make sure that you get the right flight on this shot coming in because you want it to land soft on this opening hole. It's 186 yards to the middle of the green. Obviously, there's those palms and trees to the left of this green that have to be avoided. And, of course, you don't want a beach on the right.
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Now to the second hole, and Frank, I'd be happy to see something with just the normal amount of obstacles, say, a bunker, maybe a pond. Those would be rather benign compared to what we're seeing right here on this second hole.
Yeah, that's no love shack. That's a guard shack there on the right of this green, just past that bridge. So this green well protected on that right side. Of course, water adorns this island green and tons of, local fauna around the green. This is one green you do not want to miss.
With that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. He'll need to be strong with this. Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over.
Well, Rich, we've got the drone. It's headed back. Told us it's 216 yards to the middle of the green. If we can just aim a little right of the gun turret on the destroyer, that should be a good line.
This is the definition of a blind tee shot right here. But you need all of the modern equipment, the modern telecommunications, just to try to get you zeroed in on where you're supposed to go.
Well, maybe you can capture the flag here, though, with a birdie. Fortunately, it does not look buried. Well, it's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, surveying this hole, it appears as though your normal laser or rangefinder won't be good enough.
Well, we could always radio in the yardage there, but the radio tower, personally, I prefer sonar.
Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how strong he is.
Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Frank, you and I have called golf from around the world. In fact, we had our broadcast position in the Grand Canyon in a hot air balloon. Tell you what, I'm glad we didn't pick that spot to broadcast from. That would have been lights out early.
It would have, but I don't even know if our observation tower that was situated in is going to be safe. Already the destroyer's come and hit the land. And of course the fifth hole, this par 3 at just over 200 yards, that should be rather interesting, but hopefully we'll be safe. Let's batten down the hatches while we watch the tee shot.
So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Now up to the sixth tee. We're back against that destroyer. Frank, you need to take it over that small island?
Yeah, once again, you're going to have to pick a very good target in the distance. Now, we know the shared greens at St. Andrews. Well, this is actually a shared green just cut by that little sand path that goes through the middle. This green is shared with the 8th, but still, this is a long par 3, and for some people out there, it'll be a case of ready, aim, and driver. Second shot.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Getting some sand in the shoes now. So the shot has landed, I'm not sure if it's on the mulch or in the mulch. Either way, it's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a shot you left.
No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Now on to the 7th, and Frank, you don't want to get stuck down in those trenches or down on the beach to the left.
Yeah, this hole not overly long, but yeah, there's a lot going on, and really sand traps, even perhaps a minefield. You'd rather, if you're going to miss, be in the former.
Well, that is a ball striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. Locked in on the read and the speed. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Trying to move on with a par in his pocket. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Partner, look at that. Left here at the 8th hole. You and I could shoot a little hoop. You want to play a little donkey?
Yeah, it's very observant of you, Rich. Also, the barracks just up ahead that protect the left side of this green. So there's a lot of visual intimidation on this par 3. Follow the sandy trail, and there's green at the end.
Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
Well, this is how you build a good round, Frank. You just keep hitting greens. One over for the day. Frank, it's been a real battle out here so far on the front 9. Let's finish it off in style here.
There's a great view just slightly right of the 9th green. Look out. Now, that's full of people. You might get the appropriate applause, maybe even a standing ovation, at least a salute. 150 yards approximately to that flag, but you have to be precise. And let's see how precise you can be.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Back to par for the round. It's the start of the back 9 mission. Rich Lerner for EA Sports, along with my partner Frank Nobilo. Frank, tell us a little bit about the 10th.
A very civilized par 3, Rich. This is the more populated part of the island. Just over 150 yards, which makes it reachable for anybody. Just a short iron coming in. You're going to need a short iron too, because that flag today on the left, tucked behind those palm trees, well away from the beach.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Still playing even for the day after the par. The 11th hole here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea. What a day it's been playing through these wrecked battleships with all of the obstacles out there. You see the windmills, and now just a short shot, Frank. Just an excellent shot right there, about 5 feet away. Good chance. Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt.
You'd like that one again.
Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. He'll take par and move on. Frank, the 12th hole here at Paracel Storm, at 241 yards, island green. I can't think of a harder par 3 in the world.
This hole, you really have to be wary on the direction of the wind, because if it's coming off the island, then it's going to blow it towards the water. It's going to make this tee shot so much more difficult. Conversely, if you get a little sea breeze, it's going to help. It's going to hold it up there and make this whole play that little bit easier.
And it makes the green in regulation. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Settles in over the putt. He's made it. Going right back to the large island here at the 13th, Frank.
Trenches behind will certainly protect anything that goes a little bit long. Left of this green, you better call in the Navy.
Not what they planned. Trip to the beach.
He should be able to splash that out, though.
Well, Frank, this is where a golf club may not be good enough. You might need a shovel here.
Oh, this is going to take some sort of digging.
And he's made the green.
Even par, currently.
Frank, this looks like a green where if things didn't go well, you might find yourself just walking around in a bit of a haze, maybe talking to an old volleyball that washed ashore.
It's almost like a booby trap, Rich. It looks way too easy after some of the other holes we've seen. I've got this sort of sneaking suspicion there's something out there. It just looks like a green, just perched up there with very little trouble around. That's got me thinking there might just be something out there. If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game. Frank, in any war zone, the element of surprise is always so critical, and we see that here at the 15th.
Yeah, this green is fortified by the jungle that surrounds it, and just a little feature that you often don't see on a golf course. It's not a bunker in the middle of that green, just a mini forest.
Just a little short shot here. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. These putts keep the round together. Nice par to remain 1 under. Frank, coming to the closing stretch here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea, the 16th hole. You look out over the expanse of this land with those solar panels, the battleships that are ruined. It's pretty evident we're not at Daddy's Country Club, are we?
No, that's for sure. Those solar panels just remind us, too, we've got to conserve energy before we get to the end of the round. Not an overly long par 3, juts out there. Those boulders, well, they really, I don't know if they protect or basically repel anything on that right side. We'll soon find out. The water and the bridge, they're also to be avoided.
So just a formality here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now to the 17th hole, and as we come to the end of this round, you salute the players because they're out there carrying not only their golf clubs, but the med kits and the meal packs, because this is no ordinary golf course. You have to be on alert, high guard all the time. Good news is, Frank, you can see the golf ball. I guess the bad news is that's kind of an uncertain lie in that mulch.
Yeah, there's nothing really good about that. You'd rather it be in the rough.
Superb shot.
Well, that's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Frank, the job is almost complete here at the 18th hole, and a good job at that, as we have seen some spectacular golf here at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea.
Just one more battle ahead, the difficult 18th. Should they succeed, then I think they're worthy of a salute.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity.
It's no snack, though. Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there. I mean, if there's a high commission of golfdom, we need to consult them right now because it's just simply not fair, Frank. It's not.
I think the people above are frowning on the people below.
Frank, what a day of golf we saw out there today. The kind of fierce, driven, intense performance that any of the great generals would have been proud of.
Well, Paracel Storm, Rich, has provided a very tough defense today. But in pursuit of victory, these players have stormed the greens and they've come out on top.
Objective achieved. Mission accomplished. For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner signing off after a successful tour of duty at Paracel Storm in the South China Sea.